What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to do a little Scream 6 filming update for you and talk about mainly, and because there really hasn't actually been too much else, two specific kind of storylines and talk about each of them. So I want to start with the Melissa Barrera thing because I think that's actually extremely interesting, and of course, I could definitely be making more of it than it really is. That's very fair for you guys to call out in the comments, but she had posted on Instagram yesterday, and she simply said, "It's begun," and she had her right hand out, like black nail polish, and there's blood on her hand. Now, again, making more of it than it really has to be. Well, what does that mean? So I guess what we can definitely put together as of right now is that there probably hasn't been, at least with Melissa, I guess you can easily say that, there has been no kills or attacks filmed. And I guess that could potentially not be true if they did something inside, which it seems like at least 2 of the days that they have been filming over the past couple weeks, they did do kind of like an inside day where they barricaded the outside. Nobody, you couldn't see inside, right? So they could have definitely done stuff inside in terms of an attack or whatever. But it's just interesting to me that she, not necessarily that she was able to, but just the fact that she did. She posted that picture on Instagram with the "It's begun." And I would read that at face value, by the way, in terms of, I think this is the first, it's the beginning. At least her involvement. Because, I mean, she could have said that for, Scream 5, and that wouldn't have been true because, Jenna Ortega's attack, right, or Tara's attack, right? So I guess the question that I then have is, whose blood is that? Right? Why does she have blood in her hand, and whose blood is it? Doesn't necessarily have to mean a death. Could it mean an attack? Either or. And I guess my answer to that is it's obviously very, very hard, right? I would say, I would honestly say 50-50 split that it was an attack versus a kill, because it doesn't have to be a kill. It could be a situation like Ghostface attacking her in the hospital in 5, and just he gets a slice off on her, and then she's bleeding, and she puts her hand up against her body, and then, she'd have blood on her hand. I mean, she had blood on her hands at the end of Scream 5. Well, she did actually get stabbed, right? So, I mean, it could be a variety of things. It could be her blood. It could be somebody around her. The one that it could even be Tara. Now, I don't think Tara is gonna die whatsoever. That would be maybe the stupidest decision they could ever make. But, I mean, it could be her blood. Not necessarily that she died, but her blood. The thing that I guess is fascinating is we really don't know too many people that are on the set. Right? We know Melissa's there. We know Jenna is there. We know that, and I really need to look up how to say her name, that Devon or Devon or however you say, the 19-year-old girl, that one of the 4 that were announced, I think last week. We know she's there with Jasmine, who plays Mindy, right? So, they are definitely there. It could be one of them for sure, actually. Maybe that's the most likely. It could be one of them. But, somebody had said, well, maybe that's hopefully it's not. Somebody said, hopefully it's not like Hayden Panettiere. Hopefully it's not Kirby. And it's no, nobody has spotted her. So, and then does that take the fun out of it? It may. That's up for you to decide. But if Hayden was there, I think the first day Hayden is on set, we're going to know about it. I just feel like somebody's going to take a picture, or it would be the biggest talking point of the day of any, I think Discover Montreal, is that his name? Whoever is there, however many people, the day Hayden first shows up, that's going to be the talk of the town. Same thing for Courtney Cox, right? We've talked about how she's not actually there yet, and we don't really know when she may not come till July. So, it can't be her. It can't be Hayden. And then a bunch of the new cast, again, besides Devon, I'll call her for now, besides her, the rest of them we haven't seen at all. So it's who could it be? I mean, most likely scenario is it's either Sam's own blood or it's Tara, because it's those are the 2 that we know have been there so far, and we know have been filming pretty heavily so far. Yet again, of course, and this does still make it fun, we don't know everything that's going on. We don't know who's actually there. There could be a couple other people. It could literally be somebody I didn't even mention's blood. It could be an extra's blood. You just don't know. But I did find that was fun, and I would take her at face value. It's begun, again, to be this is the first attack / kill of the movie that Sam is somewhat a part of. I guess, and I'm not going to really go too far into it, but I just want to float it out there. It could be, if they want to take the whole Sam is a killer thing, it could be somebody else's blood that Sam has because she killed that person. I want, and we've said it before, like I want her to go dark. I have a feeling they're not going to do it. I think they probably thought of it, but they probably turned it down. That's my prediction for it. And then finally, we have a new cast update, a new person being added. And so I want to go over that kind of for part 2 of this video. Henry Czerny, I don't know how you say his last name. Now, he's been in Ready or Not. I do actually know him from, well, I didn't pay too much attention to the fact that it was him, so it's like, did I really know him from it? No, but at least I know something that he's been in. I guess he was in an episode of Monk, one of my favorite TV shows of all time, so that's great. I mean, a veteran actor, right? He's been around for a while. He's 63. Now, what's interesting about him is now here we go. Now we have 2 different, like we have that Josh Segura, or however you say his last name, and I believe he's 35, 36. So you have him, and he's old. He's definitely the oldest of like the core group that we have, right? I mean, Melissa Barrera is going to be 32, so he's not too far away from her. But you have that group, and then you have him. Hayden Panettiere, by the way, is only 32, turning 33. And then you have somewhat of a jump, right? And you have that, I always forget his name, Dermot or whatever, that played like a cop, most popular wise. So you have him. I think he's like 57 to 59, somewhere in that range. He very much seems like a cop-like stereotype. Not really to diss that. It's just that's what he looks like, and that's what he's played. And now you have this guy, right? Henry. We'll just call him Henry. And I think Craven Something Scary, he made a good point to my reply on Twitter, where it's like, I said, this Henry guy, is he Sam and Tara's dad? Is he the father of Sam and Tara? And he had said, we're getting all of these like adult male actors, like older. One of them has to be a father to somebody. It's like, yeah, even if it's not Sam or Tara, it probably is to somebody. You know what I mean? I'm not saying the cop necessarily is in relation to anybody, but this guy, I mean, I think somebody kind of has to be. Now, whether it's that, maybe like Kirby has a dad. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But the most interesting person it could be, in my opinion, is Sam and Tara's dad. I guess one of them could be connected like a Mrs. Loomis. One of them could be connected to Amber or Richie. Wouldn't surprise me if one of the two of those are connected, if they're going to do that but again, like if they do that, I really would start to have some issues with just copy and pasting, what's already been done. So I've always kind of been on the side of, I don't really want a revenge story from a parent of the 2 killers, which is exactly what you had in 2. I don't want that again. So the most interesting to me would be if it's Sam and Tara's dad, because I think there's actually something kind of cool about that, where naturally he would probably be a suspect no matter what, right? Is he somebody who basically abandoned them, even if he is like a fine guy? It really is almost like the Scream TV series, like Her Father, right? Where it's like, he comes back and maybe he's got a good heart, and maybe he's just trying to right the wrongs of the past, and he can say that all day and he can be that all day, but there's always going to be that doubt of like, well, why are you back, right? I mean, and I think that's a cool little natural thing that just happens because of that situation in any of these crime thrillers. In that way, somebody leaves, but they're in relation to these people, and they come back. It's like, well, why are you back at this time? And all of a sudden now there's all these killings, and you're here. So I like that idea, even if he's not the killer, which I don't need him to be. Sam and Tara's dad needs to be the killer. Doesn't need to happen. But if it does, I mean, at least that's something a little bit different, right? So we'll have to see how that goes. But I just can't imagine some of these people aren't related in some way. Because, I mean, when you have all these characters, and they've obviously, even with, like, Vince and stuff like that, like, it's clear that they're not afraid to they are, to expand family trees. As long as it makes sense, right? You can't do it to break canon. But if they can make it work where they can add a nephew, a sister, a parent, whoever, kids, or even like a Martha Meeks, right? If they can do those things and do it naturally, I think they're more than willing. And not only like Wes Craven, but like Radio Silence, I think they're willing to do it. So it wouldn't shock me, not really necessarily any of the younger kids that they, not even kids, but, the younger cast they had brought in, but this older generation people that they bring in, it wouldn't surprise me, because it is kind of a thing you do in these movies, or they have done, where they would expand the family tree. So we'll see what happens. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. If you want to follow me anywhere else or support us anywhere else, all the links are in the description to everywhere else I am, including my Patreon. We also have the join button, the YouTube join button next to the subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.